After hours at the 24/7 gym, I used to think 24-hour gyms slept like cats, one eye open, harmless. I'm 24, the night attendant at a franchise with too many mirrors and a playlist that thinks time is a myth. My job is simple: check fobs, mop sweat halos, wipe screens, and never unlock the sauna after midnight. The superstition rule, courtesy of my manager, Kim. Don't stand between the mirror walls after 3. If you have to cross, keep your eyes down. She laughed when she said it. The laugh didn't stick. By 11:20 p.m., the last barbell selfie crowd had left the room, smelling like citrus cleaner and coins. The turnstile counter read 1,000. I flipped the lights to night mode. 30%, just enough for abs to believe they exist, and scrolled the camera grid. Cardio glowed a soft aquarium blue. Strength was a black lake full of chrome. The first weird thing was polite. The receipt printer on the desk chattered and spat a thin strip. Do not face the glass. We only print day passes and towel charges. The timestamp in microscopic ink said 3:13 am. The wall clock said 11:27. I taped the strip to the monitor because paper makes jokes quieter. Oh, tu nakak sounded from the free weight mirror wall. Not a plate kiss, knuckles on glass. I looked up too fast and caught only myself looking up too fast. The long mirror made 2 of me in the seam, each a half beat late. The sauna porthole clouded on the inside, an oval of breath that slid down an inch and thinned. I didn't move. There's a rule for a reason. The deadbolt key lives in a drawer with a label that says don't. The ceiling speakers clicked. The gym voice, the one that tells you to re-rack, came out wrong, like each word was being lowered into place with 2 fingers. Don't look up. I turned the volume knob to 0. The voice stayed under it, almost sound, the way fridges hum through bones. At 12:03, the turnstile tripped. 1. With nobody at the door. The fob reader blinked green, then neutral, like a person who smiled by accident. I checked the camera feed and watched the entry cam smear for a single frame. 5 pale ovals and a round heel shaped like a hand learning the lens. Then nothing, just the vestibule, patient and empty. A lone guy wandered in at 12:11, hoodie, headphones, that look people wear when they promise themselves they'd be better tomorrow, and tomorrow moved. Rower? He asked without asking. I nodded. Machines like being used. He settled on the erg facing the mirror wall and pulled steady, eyes locked on his own effort. On his 5th stroke, he flinched. Sorry, he said to the glass, as if he'd cut someone off in a doorway, and quit after 3 minutes. He couldn't explain. When he left, the printer coughed a second strip. Keep your eyes down. Damp at the edges, like something breathed on it before the cutter blade did. I did rounds to feel architecturally brave. The dumbbell rack reflected itself into forever. Standing between the parallel mirrors, I saw an arcade tunnel of me that had a half-frame hitch, like a GIF that didn't T-loop right. I aimed my flashlight at my own eyes and kept it there until the urge to check the corners fell back to wherever urges sleep. The cable machine's chrome post felt colder than the air, like refrigerator metal. From the other side of the mirror came 2 light taps. Precise, curious. I set the sanitizer bottle down because my hands had begun to pretend they shook. At 12:37, the sauna thermometer briefly spiked and corrected. The porthole fogged a second time. Higher, 5 long ovals pressed from the wrong side of heat. The door shivered. Against the deadbolt like a sleeper scratching. Closed, I told it, and the door settled like a person who chose to believe me. The treadmill next to the window woke and started its quick start. Screen, blue on black. The reflection in it sat a half second behind mine, mouth parted the way a person holds their mouth when they about to say, "Done." Toss. I pushed the stop key for something to do, and the rubber belt answered with the tiny knock-knock belts make when they remember they re-loops. My phone buzzed with a verification code I didn't ask for, then another, then a push from the gym app. Confirm mirror calibration at 3:13. We do not calibrate mirrors. The screen time glitched to 3:13 and corrected to 12.41 while my stomach made a small weather system. I did the mop routine because floors don't argue. At the midpoint of the long mirror, where the two sheets meet, condensation bloomed a small circle at knee height and slid down like a child's palm. I lowered my eyes and kept pushing the wet line toward the door as if I had learned a lane discipline nobody taught me. The intercom button on the desk popped and stayed a millimeter down. "Front?" a voice asked, in Kim's exact tone from the other side of the mirror wall. "Can you help me with a lock?" The word lock landed like an elevator pause. Kim wouldn't call from a mirror, I told the empty gym, and the gym held my logic without comment. At 1:06, the occupancy counter ticked to, well, tool. The entry cam showed nobody. The exit cam showed nobody. The squat rack camera caught a smear at shoulder height on the far mirror. 5 ovals and a heel, then nothing. The printer. "Don't turn around." I didn't stick that one anywhere. Something whistled twice from the dark spin studio. 2 notes a heartbeat apart. The way beginners practice. The studio's wall is all glass. I walked past with my head down, like I was keeping snow out of my eyes. In the reflection's periphery, a head tilted to hear me pass. I kept my eyes on the line where rubber mat meets tile. At 1:23, the Bluetooth speaker in the stretching area unplugged, off, breathed, and said, patient as a coach, "Keep eyes down." The strip light over the posing corner flickered like it was deciding who owns light. The mirror there threw back everything, like water. I made it as far as the fountain. The chrome button was cold through the paper towel. As I leaned to drink, 2 knuckles tapped the metal column behind my ear. From the other side of the mirror, measured, conversational. I swallowed wrong. Water went where water shouldn't. The fountain burbled like a laugh. At 1:41, the gym changed its mind about noise. Not less. Aligned. Treadmills, AC, exit sign, a single loose vent, all breathed on the same beat. The turnstile's red LED clicked once, a tiny metronome. The printer spit one last strip into my palm. Leave the sauna locked. I could feel wet through the paper. I decided that Dawn could come early if I helped. I went to the desk. I wrote the lie that keeps buildings patient. Quiet night. The monitor showed the mirrors as rectangles of hell dark. In my screen's reflection, I saw my shoulders and, behind them, a second pair, half a beat slow, head tipped like someone reading a password off my skin. "Don't," the ceiling speaker said, merciful and small. "Don't look." So I didn't. I gathered the towels into a soft wall and crossed between mirrors, with my eyes dragging the rubber seam on the floor like a plumb line. Tap, tap. On the glass to my left, then to my right, each a half step behind, like echo with opinions. The sauna porthole fogged and cleared, a palm saying goodnight to a rule. Back at the door, I flipped the open sign to the side that says staffed. The turnstile rolled. 1 to attendant. Like an apology, I locked the vestibule and let the building breathe without me. Kim came in at 6 with a smoothie and a story about a kid who fainted squatting. Quiet? She asked. Mostly, I said, and handed her the first strip. She frowned at, do not face the glass. The way people frown at a word that isn't a word, then taped it to the wall next to the checklist. Some franchises cover the mirrors overnight, she said, like a fact you learn at a conference. I switched to days a month later. I say it's for vitamin D and normal lungs. The mirror in my apartment bathroom fogs higher than my breath now and then. Up, palm, clearing a circle from the wrong side and dragging an inch before deciding not to. At 3:13, some nights, the hallway outside holds its breath, and my phone screen wakes by itself with a camera preview of my own back. When that happens, I keep my eyes on the seam where floor meets wall and walk like there's a line I can hold in my shoe. If something knocks feet twice from the mirror over the sink, I tell it in the even voice the gym taught me. Sauna stays locked. The glass cools. The room remembers what it's for, and whatever stands half a beat behind me, learning my posture, lets me pass without meeting my eyes.
If you survived this far, leave your like to prove you are not afraid.